My name is Eric. This happened in late October, just before winter really started settling in. I worked the night shift at a small warehouse outside Columbus. Same schedule every night. Clock in at 9 p.m., clock out at 5:30 a.m. I took the same roads home every time, stopped at the same gas station twice a week, and parked in the same spot outside my apartment. I didn't think routine was dangerous. I was wrong. It started small. One night, as I was unlocking my car after work, a man walked past me in the parking lot and said, "Late one again, huh?" I assumed he worked nearby. I nodded and got in my car. The next night, I saw him again. Same guy. Same clothes. Same slow walk. This time he said, "You always park right here." That should have bothered me more than it did. Over the next week, I noticed him everywhere. Sitting on a bench outside the gas station when I stopped for coffee. Standing across the street from my apartment smoking. Walking behind me when I cut through the side alley instead of the main road. He never approached me directly. Never asked for money. Never tried to talk. He just watched. One morning, as I got into my car, I found a folded piece of paper under my windshield wiper. It had my work schedule written on it. Not copied. Not guessed. Written. Every shift. Every break time. Even the nights I stayed late. That night, I took a different route home. I made random turns. Drove slow. Then fast. He was still behind me. When I finally pulled into my apartment complex, I didn't park. I kept driving until sunrise and went straight to the police station. They told me something that still messes with my head. They'd had multiple reports about a man matching that description. But no one had ever been able to identify him. Because no matter where he was seen, there was never footage of him on cameras. I quit that job the next day. I still change my route home randomly. And sometimes, I swear I see him standing where my old parking spot used to be. Story 2. This happened in February, during one of the coldest weeks of the year. I was working nights at the time, doing remote customer support from my apartment. My shift ended at 3:30 a.m., and by the time I logged off, my brain was fried. I hadn't eaten since early evening, and everything in my fridge was either expired or depressing. There was only one place open that late. A 24-hour laundromat and convenience store combo about 15 minutes from my place. It wasn't in a great area, but it was familiar. I'd been there dozens of times before. Nothing ever happened. That night, the parking lot was empty when I pulled in. No cars. No lights except the harsh fluorescent ones buzzing above the entrance. The kind of lighting that makes everything look slightly unreal, like you're inside a fish tank. I remember sitting in my car for a few seconds longer than usual, scrolling through my phone, just procrastinating going inside. I had this weird sense of resistance, like my body didn't want to move. I ignored it. Inside, the place smelled like detergent and burnt coffee. 3 washing machines were running, but no one was using them. Just clothes tumbling endlessly behind thick glass. The clerk was behind the counter, older guy, earbuds in, staring at his phone. I grabbed a microwave burrito and a drink, then leaned against one of the machines while it heated up. That's when I noticed the man sitting near the back wall. He was sitting on one of the plastic laundry carts, completely still. Hood up. Hands tucked into his jacket. At first, I thought he was asleep. Then I realized he was staring directly at the reflection in the washing machine door. Not at himself. At me. I felt my stomach tighten. I shifted slightly to test it. His eyes didn't move. Still locked on my reflection. I told myself not to be dramatic. People are weird. Night attracts weird people. Still, I moved closer to the counter while pretending to browse snacks I didn't want. The microwave beeped. Loud. Sharp. The man flinched hard, like he'd been shocked. That's when he finally turned his head and looked at me directly. There was something wrong with his face. Not disfigured. Not injured. Just empty. His eyes were wide, unblinking, like he was trying to memorize me. He smiled slowly, but only with his mouth. His eyes stayed dead. He stood up. Not quickly. Not aggressively. Just calmly, like he had all the time in the world. I paid immediately, heart hammering, and headed for the door. I didn't run. Running makes things worse. I pushed the door open and stepped back into the cold night air, relief washing over me. Then I heard the door open behind me. Footsteps. Matching mine. I didn't look back. I got into my car, locked the doors, and started the engine. In the rearview mirror, I saw him stop just outside the entrance. He stood there watching me pull away, head tilted slightly, like he was curious. I thought that was it. It wasn't. About 5 minutes into the drive, I noticed headlights behind me. One car. No big deal. Then they stayed behind me through every turn. Every stop. Every lane change. I sped up. They sped up. I slowed down. They slowed down. That's when I knew. I made a random turn into a residential street. They followed. I turned again. Still there. My chest felt tight. My hands were slick on the steering wheel. I considered calling the police, but what would I even say? A guy looked at me weird in a laundromat? The road ahead dead-ended into a small park. I realized too late. No houses. No lights. Just a dark stretch of trees. I had to turn around. As I slowed, the car behind me suddenly accelerated and blocked the road. High beams on. Blinding. A door opened. A silhouette stepped out. Same height. Same hood. He started walking toward my car. I didn't think. I slammed the wheel, reversed onto the grass, barely missing a tree, and floored it back the way I came. My tires screamed. The other car didn't follow immediately. I drove straight home, breaking every speed limit I could. I didn't check my mirrors until I was parked under my apartment lights. No one followed me. The next day, I checked the news. Police reports. Nothing. 2 nights later, there was a note tucked under my windshield wiper. It just said, "You left too fast." I moved out 3 weeks later. If you are watching this late at night, lock your doors. Hit like, subscribe, and share.